Welcome back to Valuable Coins, the channel where we explore the fascinating world of numismatics. Today we're diving deep into some intriguing Jefferson nickels, highlighting their unique features, historical significance, and their current market values. If you're a coin collector or simply curious about the worth of your change, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Next up, we explore the value of the 1966 Jefferson nickel. Holds a special place in the hearts of collectors and numismatists alike. Struck during a period of significant change in American coinage, this nickel reflects both the artistry of its design and the historical context of the era. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, designed by Felix Schlag. The obverse features a left-facing profile of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. The reverse showcases an image of Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia home, representing his legacy. By 1966, the U.S. was experiencing significant cultural shifts, and the coin was still a symbol of national pride. The 1966 Jefferson nickel maintains the traditional design. On the obverse, you will find the words "In God We Trust" along with the date and liberty. The reverse features Monticello with the inscriptions "E pluribus unum" and 5 cents. This specific coin, notable for its dirty condition and black color shade, could result from prolonged exposure to contaminants or the elements, which can significantly affect its visual appeal and value. In 1966, approximately 246 million Jefferson nickels were produced at the Philadelphia Mint without a mint mark. This high mintage has led to the coin being relatively common in circulated condition, but specific variations, especially those with noticeable toning or in unique conditions, can attract a niche market of collectors. The value of a 1966 Jefferson nickel in average circulated condition is typically around $56,000, but the dirty condition and black color shade can make it less desirable among some collectors. However, if it has unique characteristics or a notable history, it might fetch a higher price, ranging from $36,000 at auction. The collector interest is particularly in the uniqueness of the condition, as many enthusiasts appreciate coins with interesting patinas or histories, making them appealing despite their usual low market value. Errors are always a hot topic in numismatics. While the 1966 nickel doesn't feature any known major errors, its uniqueness in terms of coloration and condition could pique the interest of error coin collectors. Furthermore, the combination of historical significance and aesthetic characteristics keeps this coin in demand among collectors looking for something distinctive. Next up, we explore the value of the 1954 Jefferson nickel, especially with a D mint mark, is a fascinating study in the evolution of American coinage. It encapsulates the mid-20th century era's challenges and triumphs, making it a cherished piece for many collectors. Produced during the post-World War II economic boom, the 1954 nickel reflects the optimism of the American public. The coin was struck at a time when the U.S. was transitioning into an era of modern conveniences and a booming economy. The design, originally by Felix Schlag, was part of a series that aimed to honor Jefferson's contributions to the nation. The 1954 Jefferson nickel features the familiar design Thomas Jefferson's portrait on the obverse and Monticello on the reverse. The D mint mark indicates it was minted in Denver. The coin's damage, which might include scratches, dents, or discoloration, can stem from various factors such as mishandling or exposure to harsh conditions. Such damages can significantly affect the coin's appearance and market value. Approximately 56 million 1954 nickels were produced at the Denver Mint. This relatively lower mintage compared to other years can make the 1954 D nickel more sought after, particularly among collectors who specialize in mid-century coins. In typical circulated condition, a 1954 D Jefferson nickel is worth about $189,000. However, due to the damage on this specific coin, its market value might drop to around $200,000 yet. Coins with significant historical context or damage that tells a story can attract niche collectors willing to pay a premium, with auction values potentially reaching up to $278,000 or more depending on interest. While the 1954 D nickel doesn't feature any major errors, collectors often seek coins with unique damage as they can tell a story of their journey. The damage can add a layer of intrigue for some collectors, making them more valuable in certain circles, especially for those who appreciate the history behind each scratch or blemish. The appeal lies in its connection to a specific time in history and its representation of American heritage. Next up, we explore the value of the 1994 Jefferson nickel, especially the large date version, represents a transitional period in U.S. coinage. With its clean design and high-quality minting, this nickel is a favorite among collectors. The early 1990s were a time of change for the U.S. economy, characterized by a tech boom and significant shifts in cultural trends. The 1994 nickel, part of a long-standing tradition, reflects the stability of American currency and the enduring legacy of Thomas Jefferson as a founding father. The design of the 1994 Jefferson nickel remains consistent with earlier issues, showcasing Jefferson's portrait on the obverse and Monticello on the reverse. The large date style is easily distinguishable, with more prominent numerals compared to its smaller date counterparts. An extra fine condition coin shows minimal wear, maintaining much of its original luster and detail, which is highly sought after by collectors. In 1994, the Denver Mint produced approximately 66 million nickels, with a significant portion featuring the large date. This ample mintage means that while the coin is not particularly rare, examples in extra fine condition can be relatively harder to find due to the wear and tear coins often experience in circulation. The market value for a 1994 D. Jefferson nickel in extra fine condition typically ranges between $7,000. Collectors value well-preserved examples for their aesthetic appeal and the nostalgia they evoke from the 1990s. Some might pay even more for coins that exhibit exceptional quality or unique characteristics. While the 1994 D nickel does not have prominent errors, certain varieties or condition-based differences can be of interest to collectors. For instance, looking for well-struck coins or any unique toning can elevate a nickel's value significantly. The focus on condition among collectors makes the 1994 large date D mint mark a staple in many collections, as they represent both a period in U.S. history and an ongoing interest in numismatic quality. Next up, we explore the value of the 1986 Jefferson nickel, minted at the Philadelphia Mint, is another striking example of American coinage that has maintained popularity among collectors due to its quality and design. The mid-1980s in the United States were characterized by economic expansion and a shift towards a more service-oriented economy. The 1986 nickel not only reflects the aesthetic of the time, but also symbolizes the nation's ongoing appreciation for its historical figures, particularly Thomas Jefferson. The 1986 Jefferson nickel maintains the classic design with Jefferson's profile on the obverse and Monticello on the reverse. The P mint mark indicates that it was minted in Philadelphia. Coins in extra fine condition are known for their clarity and minimal wear, making them especially appealing for collectors who value the artistry in coin design. Mintage approximately 92 million nickels was struck in 1986 at the Philadelphia Mint. While this is a significant mintage, finding examples in extra fine condition can be a bit more challenging, as many were circulated extensively. Market value in today's market, a 1986 P. Jefferson nickel in extra fine condition can typically be valued between $10,000. The demand for well-preserved coins has kept this nickel relevant, particularly among those who focus on modern coinage from the late 20th century. Error and collector interest. As with many modern coins, errors are relatively rare in the 1986 Jefferson nickel series. However, enthusiasts often seek coins with unique features, such as notable toning or sharp strikes, which can increase their value. Collectors are drawn to this nickel not just for its historical context, but also for the quality and artistry represented in well-preserved examples. Next up, we explore the value of the 1942 Jefferson nickel is a remarkable coin with a unique historical context and several notable features. Its production during World War II introduced an iconic period in numismatic history, where resource scarcity led to adjustments in coin composition and minting practices. 1942 marked the beginning of significant changes in the U.S. Mint's coinage due to the war effort. The U.S. government needed to conserve nickel for military manufacturing, especially for armor plating. As a result, the Mint began experimenting with alternative materials. In 1942, the first war nickels made from a silver-copper manganese alloy were introduced to replace nickel, which had become a critical war resource. However, the standard nickel-copper alloy was used in the early part of the year, making the 1942 non-silver nickel a unique pre-war issue and a collector's item with its own intrigue. The 1942 Jefferson nickel retains the classic design by Felix Schlag. The obverse features Thomas Jefferson's profile facing left, with "In God We Trust" and "Liberty" inscribed alongside the year, 1942. On the reverse is Jefferson's home, Monticello, with the denomination 5 cents, and the inscription E pluribus unum. The large date style is distinct, with slightly bolder numerals that make the coin stand out. Since this coin is in circulated condition, there may be signs of wear. But the large date design remains visible, highlighting this coin's appeal. The 1942 large date Jefferson nickel without a mint mark was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, with a total production of about 49 million coins in the original nickel-copper composition. This mintage was relatively moderate compared to other years, but the significance of it being a pre-silver, non-war alloy issue makes it especially interesting to collectors. The market value of a 1942 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark in circulated condition can vary depending on its state of preservation. Typically, circulated versions of this coin are worth between $500,000 depending on wear and overall appeal. However, higher quality circulated examples with minimal wear can fetch slightly higher prices at auction, particularly if they show unique characteristics like toning or distinct circulation marks. Coins with historical ties to pre-war production have unique collector appeal, often bringing prices up to $500,000 or more for well-preserved specimens. While the 1942 nickel doesn't feature any widely recognized errors, the fact that it is one of the last pre-war alloy nickels minted adds significant appeal for collectors interested in World War II-era numismatics. Next up, we explore the value of the Jefferson nickel 1985. In fine condition, it was first minted in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel, and has since become a staple of American coinage. The 1985 coin is particularly interesting due to several factors, including its mintage and the economic conditions of the time. The 1980s were marked by inflation and a shift in American currency, which led to discussions about coin composition and design changes. The 1985 Jefferson nickel features the well-known portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, which was designed by Felix Schlag. Jefferson's likeness is accompanied by the words "In God We Trust" and the year of minting. The reverse showcases Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate, reflecting the architectural heritage of America. The design is simple yet elegant, embodying the spirit of American democracy. The total mintage for the 1985 nickel was over 276 million coins across various mint locations, with a significant number struck at the Philadelphia Mint, where this error occurred. Mint errors can happen due to a variety of reasons, including machinery malfunctions or miscalculations during the minting process. In today's auction market, a 1985 Jefferson nickel with a P-error mint mark in good condition can fetch prices ranging from $20,000 depending on the specific error and the collector's interest. Coins in better condition, particularly those graded by professional services, can command much higher prices. The P-mint mark was introduced in 1980 and appears on coins struck in Philadelphia. However, the presence of errors, such as double strikes or off-center strikes, makes this particular coin sought after by collectors. Enthusiasts are especially drawn to coins with unique minting histories, and the 1985 nickel is no exception. Collectors appreciate not only the errors but also the historical significance of the coin within the context of U.S. minting practices. Next up, we explore the value of the 1980 Jefferson nickel is another intriguing piece from the series, minted during a decade of economic transition. The late 1970s and early 1980s were characterized by high inflation rates and economic challenges that affected the production of coins and currency. The 1980 nickel was minted at a time when the U.S. economy was in a state of flux, prompting the government to assess its coinage policies. Similar to the 1985 version, the 1980 nickel displays the classic portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse. The design is notable for its simplicity, highlighting Jefferson's contributions to American history. The reverse features Monticello, a symbol of Jefferson's legacy, which ties the coin to the nation's historical roots. The combination of these elements makes the coin a representation of American values. The 1980 nickel had a total mintage of approximately 218 million coins, with the Denver Mint striking a significant portion of this total. The D Mint mark signifies that the coin was minted in Denver, which often produces a slightly different finish compared to Philadelphia coins. In the current auction market, a 1980 Jefferson nickel with a D-era mint mark in fine condition can be valued between $27,500. Factors such as collector demand and condition can heavily influence these prices. As with the 1985 coin, higher-grade examples will see higher market values. The 1980 nickel is particularly appealing to error coin collectors. Common errors include misaligned dies and over-polished dies, which can make these coins highly sought after. Collectors are often willing to pay a premium for coins with distinct characteristics, and the 1980 nickel with a D-era mint mark is no exception. This interest highlights the vibrant community surrounding coin collecting, as enthusiasts strive to complete their collections with unique and historically significant pieces. Next up, we explore the value of the 1949 Jefferson nickel was minted in a post-war America, a time of recovery and growth following World War II. The economy was stabilizing, and this period saw an increase in consumer demand, leading to higher mint production. The 1949 nickel is part of a transitional era for U.S. coinage as designs and minting practices evolved to meet the needs of a changing economy. The 1949 nickel features the same obverse and reverse designs as earlier issues, with Thomas Jefferson's portrait gracing the front and Monticello on the reverse. However, this coin is noteworthy for its large date variety, where the digits of the year are noticeably larger than those found on other nickels from different years. This distinct feature is what sets the 1949 large date apart, drawing the attention of collectors. Approximately 83 million 1949 nickels were minted, with a portion struck at the San Francisco Mint, designated by the S Mint mark. This particular minting location is known for producing coins with a finer finish and often higher demand among collectors. The market value for a 1949 large-date Jefferson nickel with an S Mint mark in fine condition can range from $89,467, depending on its condition and any additional features that might enhance its desirability. As with other coins, those graded higher will naturally see increased values. Collectors are particularly interested in the 1949 large-date nickel due to its unique characteristics and historical context. Errors from this era can include various die defects and minting anomalies, making them highly collectible. The distinct design and the historical significance of the coin contribute to its appeal, as collectors often seek out pieces that reflect specific moments in American history. Next up, we explore the value of the 1984 Jefferson nickel reflects a continuing evolution in U.S. coinage. As America moved through the 1980s, the minting practices were refined, yet errors still occurred, making the coins from this era particularly interesting to collectors. The 1984 nickel was part of a broader push for efficiency in coin production, which occasionally resulted in mistakes. The design of the 1984 nickel remains consistent with the Jefferson series, featuring the classic obverse of Thomas Jefferson, and the Monticello reverse. The large date feature distinguishes this nickel, as the year appears in a bolder typeface, capturing the interest of numismatists and casual collectors alike. In 1984, over 200 million nickels were minted, with a significant portion bearing the Denver Mint mark. The large date variety adds an interesting layer to the mintage figures, as collectors often look for specific characteristics when assembling their collections. Today, a 1984 Jefferson nickel with a D-era mint mark in fine condition typically sells for between $26,000, influenced by the rarity of the era and the overall market interest. Coins in better condition, especially those graded by recognized services, can fetch higher prices. The 1984 D-era nickel is particularly desirable among collectors who focus on era coins. Errors can include doubled dies and unusual strikes, making these coins not only unique but also a conversation starter among collectors. The large date variety, combined with the era, positions this nickel as a noteworthy piece in any collection. Next up, the 1982 Jefferson nickel with a unique D-era mint mark. This coin is part of the classic Monticello series but comes with a twist. If you have one of these, you could be holding onto a valuable piece. Let's dive into the details on what makes this coin special, the era it carries, and what collectors are paying for it in today's auction market. So, let's get started. The 1982 Jefferson nickel may seem like just another coin, but this particular version with the D-era mint mark is highly sought after. The Jefferson nickel series has been around since 1938 and was initially created to replace the Buffalo nickel. Designed by Felix Schlag, this series celebrates Thomas Jefferson. However, some 1982 Jefferson nickels have a curious error involving the D mint mark, leading collectors to view them as unique finds within the series. Before we delve into the specifics of this error, let's touch on the design and history of the Jefferson nickel. The Jefferson nickel was designed by Felix Schlag in 1938 after a competition held by the U.S. Mint to find a replacement for the Buffalo nickel. Schlag's design won over other submissions due to its simple yet dignified depiction of Thomas Jefferson on the front and his estate, Monticello, on the back. While this design has undergone modifications, including the addition of new versions in 2004 and 2005, the 1982 nickel remains one of the original design types. But what really catches collectors' attention is the unexpected mint error that some of these coins carry, specifically involving the D mint mark. So, what exactly is this error? The D mint mark typically signifies that the coin was minted in Denver, but in some 1982 Jefferson nickels, there's a clear error in the positioning, size, or impression of the mint mark. These minting flaws were likely a result of issues during production, where the mint mark was struck incorrectly or even doubled, creating an anomaly that makes these coins unique. This type of error was particularly unusual in 1982, as the U.S. Mint had refined its production processes, making errors less frequent than in earlier years. Nonetheless, mint errors still happened, and some collectors are particularly interested in these coins because they represent rare deviations from the norm. In 1982, over 376 million nickels were produced at the Denver Mint, making it a common year in terms of general mintage. However, the presence of this error significantly reduces the supply of D-era nickels, making them far more scarce in the eyes of collectors. Since only a small percentage of these nickels display the error, it's likely that only a fraction of the total 376 million minted bear this mint mark anomaly, adding an air of exclusivity and increasing the potential value. In today's market, collectors are willing to pay premiums for Jefferson nickels with errors, especially those in good to fine condition. While a regular 1982 nickel without errors might not attract high bids, those with the D error can reach notable prices at auction, depending on the clarity of the error and the coin's overall condition. In fine condition, these error coins can command anywhere from $15,000, with particularly striking examples going even higher. In auctions, collectors value these coins not just for their numismatic significance, but also as part of a larger collection of error coins, which are known for their appeal among niche collectors. Prices can vary based on demand, error type, and collector interest, but this particular error nickel is consistently valued above regular coins from the same mintage. Thanks for watching. Happy collecting!